I'm going to tell you a story to prove why people's opinions shouldn't matter and why you should be so careful whose opinions you take seriously. For context, I'm a professional actor, always have been, always will be, and I've trained my whole life to be an actor. I remember when I first graduated from college and I went into a few agent meetings. One of the agents that I met, we ended up talking for around 5 minutes before she looked at me dead in the eyes and flatly said, "You'll never be on Broadway." I was 21 at the time, and I remember being surprisingly calm about that. And if you ask me now, 10 years later, I would say she was valid in her assumption, but the nutshell was that she simply didn't want to invest in me or find a solution to help me get to where I wanted to be. It would have been so easy for me to walk out of the meeting in tears being like, "Oh, I'll never make it on Broadway because she's a professional, she knows the business, she must be right." Instead, I remember walking out of the meeting being like, okay, first of all, what just happened? And second of all, okay, well, I'll find someone else who believes I can defy odds then. Because I've always had that fire in me that tells me that I can do the impossible. I am going to prove her wrong, and I had zero doubt in my mind. I signed with another agency 3 weeks later, and I booked my first Broadway show 3 months later and performed on Broadway for an entire year. I defied the odds. I truly believe that if you have dreams that feel out of control or unpredictable, you have to be relentless with the pursuit of them. You can never take no for an answer. Find another way. There's so many different avenues to the same destination. You can't internalize rejection. You can be sad, you can feel discouraged, but you can't ever default to, "Oh, it must be me." But that's why it's really important that your validation of yourself must come from your core. So when other people's opinions or judgments project on you that aren't quite helpful, you can just let it slide off of you like water. Be so selective with what you choose to take to heart. You go prove them wrong. Let that fire stay lit.